Welcome back, everybody, to another breakdown. This is going to be our first game in Spell Valley. I'm very excited to show you guys this game. This is actually just a really fun game. For the most part, this is kind of just not my genius. It's pretty much just my opponent's kind of incorrect plays. He's going to start off this game very hot. Level 9 Barbarians and then a Giant behind the Barbarians. Actually, I want to back this up just for a second. I think I understand what he was trying to do here. I think what he needed to do was either put Giant first and then Barbarians, but he puts Barbarians first and then Giant. So he definitely could have gotten a way bigger push by putting even Archers behind those Barbarians. But for the most part, just kind of a simple defense on my end. Cannon, Musketeers, Archers. Just a very cheap defense. Able to take out that Giant. I put a mini P.E.K.K.A down to take out those Archers. He's actually down Elixir, so he only has Elixir for one mini P.E.K.K.A, and I wish he would have somehow taken out that mini P.E.K.K.A in one shot, and then he would have gotten to the tower. But then my Musketeer will lock onto the tower, and he'll defend with a Knight. So far, I'm actually winning the Elixir trade. He's actually done less damage, and I've spent less Elixir than him, so I'm going to put a Giant and then skeleton dragons behind the Giant, and that's pretty much just impossible to defend without, cannon or musketeer on the side to take out those dragons. He's actually going to defend that Giant with a goblin cage, which it doesn't even matter because the Giant was already locked onto the tower. So then those skeleton dragons are actually going to take out that goblin brawler and then get one hit on those archers also. So I could definitely kind of chill out here, build another push on the right side, but instead I'm going to invest in some elixir on the left, take out that mini P.E.K.K.A, kind of kite it with that fire spirit, flawless defense. And then right here, like I said, I'm winning the elixir trade. I can pretty much do whatever I want. I go with a very aggressive Giant in the pocket. When you have a mini P.E.K.K.A coming either from the right bridge, like in this scenario, if I had my mini P.E.K.K.A on the right bridge coming at the right tower, or in this case it was the left, top left going after the king tower, I'm kind of going for just a 3 crown right here. I put a Giant down in the pocket. When you put a Giant or a Knight or whatever in the pocket, both towers are actually going to lock on to whatever you put in the pocket, as long as it's the closest. If that mini P.E.K.K.A was closer, then it would the king tower would obviously lock onto the mini P.E.K.K.A instead. He actually goes with a really good defense, just barbarian. I mean, that Giant is free to go in his right tower, but good defense for that mini P.E.K.K.A, and somehow that mini P.E.K.K.A actually just doesn't even take out those barbarians in one shot. So yeah, levels absolutely matter, and then that Giant on the right side is just going to get a ton of damage. I'm going to defend the rest of those barbs with skeleton dragons, and then I'll cannon in the middle to take out that Knight. And then for some reason he goes with a goblin cage. I'm not making fun of people who play in earlier arenas, but you'll definitely see a lot of plays like that. They'll put tombstone or goblin cage, or they'll put anything on the bridge, pretty much anything at all. So he's going to put a Giant. I'll defend with a mini P.E.K.K.A. Probably the best defense for a Giant in earlier arenas. And then I'm going to put a Giant of my own in the pocket, kind of drag away those barbs to the tower. I'm leaking elixir. I literally have just so much elixir this whole game because I'm just defending so well. His pushes are not the best. He's going to put a mini P.E.K.K.A down. My skeleton dragon on the right is just not going to be able to get enough. I actually don't end up 2 or 3 crowning him. But right here, I actually pretty much predict. I get out my arrows and I know he's going to put down barbs or something. So I actually predict arrow his barbarians and archers right there on the bridge. So I mean, if anything, you're going to lose some coins for not, 3-star or 3 crowning or 2 crowning somebody, but at the end of the day it's not that big of a deal. I just kind of want to just play a lot of defense. I think if anything, I would rather learn how to be better at defense than offense. And then even right here, when you have like a Knight or even a mini P.E.K.K.A coming from the opposite end, you can actually put down a troop on the other side of the bridge, and it'll kite that troop to the other side of the bridge also. So kind of just a heads up when you have like a Giant or In later arenas, you'll have like Royal Giant or Ice Golem. When you've taken a tower, you can do plays like this where you put down a win condition, and then that troop will go after the win condition, so you don't even have to worry about it. Especially when there's only 5 seconds left. If that was like a mini P.E.K.K.A or something, you can definitely use a play like that, and it'll help a lot in saving your tower. And yeah, just really good defense on my part, and yeah, just pretty much game.